Imagine a world where centuries of human knowledge vanished. Not in a sudden blaze, but slowly, deliberately, piece by piece. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. It's the untold truth behind one of history's greatest tragedies. The Library of Alexandria. You think you know its fate. You've been told it burned. But what if that story is a convenient lie? What if the real destruction was far more insidious? A pattern of suppression that continues to this day. The secrets history tried to bury are about to be unearthed. Let me show you the truth. For centuries, the Library of Alexandria stood as the undisputed beacon of human intellect. It housed an estimated 500,000 scrolls, a repository of every known text from across the ancient world. Its loss feels like a wound in the collective memory of humanity, a void we can never truly fill. Yet, the popular narrative of a single, catastrophic fire is deeply flawed. It's a simplistic explanation that glosses over a much darker, more complex reality. This wasn't an accident. This was a systematic dismantling. And it should concern you. The myth of a singular fire, often attributed to Julius Caesar's campaign in 48 BC, is the easiest story to tell. It absolves responsibility, turning a complex historical process into a simple act of fate. But history rarely works that way. The truth is far more nuanced. To understand the library's true fate, we must journey back to its very foundation. Ptolemy I Soter established the library around 283 BC, envisioning it as a universal collection of knowledge. Scholars from across the Hellenistic world flocked to Alexandria, transforming it into an intellectual powerhouse. This golden age of learning, however, carried the seeds of its own destruction. The library's immense power and influence made it a target. As political tides shifted and new ideologies emerged, the very knowledge it contained became a threat to those seeking control. The first major blow wasn't fire, but neglect and political purges. By the 2nd century BC, rulers like Ptolemy VIII Physcon began expelling scholars and persecuting intellectuals. This wasn't destruction by flame, but by intellectual starvation. The library started to bleed. This pattern of intellectual hostility continued. The Roman conquest brought further instability, with scholars fleeing and resources dwindling. The library's decline was a slow, agonizing process, a gradual erosion rather than a sudden inferno. It was dying by 1,000 cuts. Evidence suggests that Caesar's fire, while damaging, primarily affected ships in the harbor and warehouses near the library. It likely destroyed some scrolls, but not the entire collection. This event was a setback, not the final chapter. I've linked the source in the description. So, if not Caesar, then who? The narrative shifts again, often pointing fingers at Christian zealots in the 4th century AD, or later, Muslim conquerors in the 7th century. These accusations, while containing elements of truth, still miss the bigger picture. It's never just one event. The truth is, the library's destruction was a multifaceted process spanning centuries. It was a slow, deliberate strangulation, driven by a cocktail of political ambition, religious intolerance, and economic decline. This wasn't a single act of violence. It was a prolonged campaign. Consider the political landscape. As Roman influence waned and Christianity rose, the pagan knowledge housed in the library became increasingly problematic. Emperors like Theodosius I actively suppressed paganism, creating an environment hostile to ancient texts. The library was a symbol they wanted erased. Then came the religious fervor. In 391 AD, Theophilus, the Patriarch of Alexandria, oversaw the destruction of the Serapeum, a daughter library. While not the main library, this event demonstrates the intense religious zeal that targeted pagan institutions. It was an attack on the very idea of diverse knowledge. But here's the catch. The main library may not have even existed in its original form by then. Much of its collection had already been dispersed, stolen, or simply allowed to decay. The destruction of the Serapeum was a symbolic act against a dying institution, not a vibrant one. The economic factors are often overlooked. Maintaining such a vast collection required immense resources: scribes, librarians, papyrus. As Alexandria's economic power declined, so did its ability to sustain the library. Funding dried up, and the scrolls began to crumble. It was a slow decay. This isn't just ancient history. It's a chilling pattern. The Library of Alexandria didn't burn down in one dramatic moment. It was systematically dismantled, its knowledge suppressed because it challenged prevailing powers. This is the mechanism they use. And it's simple. The trick is simple. Control the narrative by controlling information. When knowledge becomes a threat to power, it is either co-opted, distorted, or destroyed. The Library of Alexandria was a victim of this timeless strategy. You'll find the source link in the description. This wasn't about a single fire. It was about the slow, deliberate erosion of intellectual freedom. Those in power sought to eliminate dissenting ideas, to reshape history to fit their agenda. Meanwhile, ordinary people lost access to the wisdom of the past. Same playbook, different players. The pattern is always there. The destruction of knowledge is rarely a sudden, accidental event. It's a calculated process, often disguised as progress or necessity. They don't want you to see the connections, but once you do, you can't unsee them. What makes this dangerous today is how easily it can happen again. Right now, the same pattern of information control is happening. Digital archives can be altered, algorithms can censor, and historical narratives can be rewritten with terrifying ease. Your access to truth is at stake. We live in an age of unprecedented information, yet also unprecedented control. Social media algorithms, search engine biases, and curated news feeds all contribute to a modern form of knowledge suppression. Are you truly seeing the full picture, or only what they want you to see? The cost of not understanding this pattern is immense. If we allow history to be rewritten, if we accept convenient myths over uncomfortable truths, we become vulnerable. We lose the lessons of the past, making us susceptible to repeating its gravest errors. This affects your future. The same forces that dismantled Alexandria's library are at play today, albeit in new forms. Political agendas, ideological battles, and economic interests continue to shape what information is accessible and what is buried. It's an invisible war for your mind. So what should you take from this? First, understand that history is rarely simple. Complex events like the library's destruction are often simplified to serve a narrative. Always question the easy answers. Dig deeper. Second, be aware of the deliberate suppression of knowledge. Whether through censorship, neglect, or the promotion of false narratives. Powerful entities seek to control what you know. Recognize the signs of information control. Third, actively seek diverse sources of information. Don't rely on a single narrative, no matter how compelling. Build your own intellectual library, one that cannot be burned or erased. Knowledge is your only protection. The true tragedy of Alexandria wasn't a fire. It was the slow, deliberate choice to forget, to suppress, to control. It's a reminder that the greatest threats to knowledge often come not from external forces, but from within. All sources are linked in the description. If this opened your eyes, if you finally understand that history is a weapon, then you're starting to see the bigger picture. Subscribe, because the next video will reveal another secret history tried to bury. What other truths are hidden in plain sight? Past Chronicles has the answers. I'll show you where to look. The Library of Alexandria wasn't just a building. It was an idea of universal knowledge, accessible to all. Its destruction was an attack on that very principle. And that principle is under attack again today. This isn't about ancient stones and scrolls. This is about the fundamental right to know, to learn, to question. When that right is eroded, society suffers. Your ability to make informed decisions depends on it. The gradual decline of the library highlights a critical vulnerability. Knowledge is fragile. It requires constant vigilance, protection, and investment. Without these, even the greatest collections can fade into obscurity. This is a lesson we must never forget. The story of Alexandria is a stark warning. It teaches us that intellectual freedom is not a given. It's a battle fought in every generation. And right now, that battle is being waged on new fronts. Are you prepared? The myth of the single fire serves to simplify a complex, uncomfortable truth. It allows us to mourn a sudden loss, rather than confront a prolonged, deliberate act of intellectual vandalism. But the truth is far more empowering. Because, once you understand the true mechanisms of knowledge suppression, you can begin to defend against them. You can protect your own access to information, and ensure that history's lessons are not lost again. This is your power. The slow death of the Library of Alexandria was a testament to the power of those who feared knowledge. They understood that controlling information was controlling the future. And that understanding hasn't changed. It's a timeless strategy. They believed that by destroying the physical texts, they could erase the ideas. They were wrong. Ideas, once sparked, can never truly be extinguished, but they can be buried. And that's what happened here. The story of Alexandria is a testament to both the fragility and the resilience of knowledge. It reminds us that while physical collections can be destroyed, the human impulse to seek and share truth endures. We must nurture that impulse. This is not just a historical account. It's a call to action. The past is not merely a collection of facts. It's a guide to the present and a warning for the future. Ignore its lessons at your peril. The pattern repeats. The true legacy of Alexandria is not its destruction, but the enduring questions it leaves us with. How do we protect knowledge in an age of digital ephemerality? How do we ensure that the truth remains accessible to all? These are not easy questions, but they are vital. The answers will determine whether we build new libraries of wisdom or allow the past to repeat itself. The choice, as always, is yours. Your future depends on it. The Library of Alexandria's fate is a mirror. It reflects our own relationship with truth, power, and the stories we choose to believe. What does it show you about the world we live in today? Think about that. The ultimate lesson is simple. Knowledge is power, and those who seek to control power will always seek to control knowledge. Be vigilant, be curious, be free. This is the only way forward. This isn't just history. This is a blueprint for understanding the hidden forces that shape our world. Once you see the patterns, you can't unsee them. And that changes everything for you. The true story of Alexandria is a testament to the enduring human spirit of inquiry, and a stark warning about the forces that seek to extinguish it. It's a battle that continues to this day, and you are in it. So, arm yourself with knowledge. Question everything. Seek the truth. Because the secrets history tried to bury are often the most important ones for us to uncover today. This is your journey. Remember, the greatest treasures are not gold or jewels, but the wisdom passed down through generations. Protect it, cherish it, share it, for the sake of all our futures. The truth is out there. If this journey into the past has illuminated your present, then join our community. Subscribe to Past Chronicles for more untold stories and hidden truths that reshape your understanding of history. What will you discover next? Past Chronicles has the answers. I'll show you where to look. The secrets are waiting. The story of Alexandria is a testament to the power of ideas and the fragility of their preservation. It's a reminder that knowledge is a living thing, constantly under threat, constantly needing defense. Your role is crucial. This isn't just about ancient scrolls. It's about the very foundation of critical thought. If we lose the ability to question, to research, to challenge, then we lose everything. This is a fight for your mind. The final lesson from Alexandria is one of resilience. Despite centuries of deliberate destruction, the echoes of its wisdom still reach us. It's a testament to the enduring power of truth. And that truth is yours to claim.